Julie, Randy, it was an extraordinary show of mercy by Judge Jay Quam, handing down 10 years probation instead of prison time to the woman guilty of attempted murder for trying to hang the toddler, then running over two men with her car. All the victims survived, but under Minnesota sentencing guidelines, she was looking at nearly 13 years in prison.
Dragging him for blocks.
Former daycare provider Natalia Karia sobbed as the prosecutor ran through the details of what happened in November 2016.
She hung by his neck with a homemade noose in her basement of her daycare in Minneapolis. This case is about that little boy who very well could have taken his last breath and died in that basement.
Karia pleaded guilty to attempted murder and criminal vehicular operation for hanging the toddler, then running over two men before attempting suicide. Everyone survived. Natalian's attorney argues the cause was mental illness brought on by abuse.
This offense was the product of mental illness that was aggravated, if not wholly caused, by the abuse of Natalia's husband.
They provided the judge with recordings.
Why are you pushing me, Papa? Shut up. I'll kill you right now. Okay? You stupid. Get out of here! Better listen to me, okay?
Through an interpreter, Karia apologized to the victims.
Please forgive me for everything that happened to the boy on that terrible day.
And asked the judge for probation.
Please help me to come back to my children.
The prosecution asked for nearly 13 years in prison.
The question isn't, well, if somebody has a mental illness, then they necessarily should not go to prison. The Department of Corrections is incredibly well equipped to handle the needs of the mentally ill.
This has been one of the hardest cases I've ever had.
Judge Quam chose to give Karia 10 years probation. And Judge Quam also handed down a 15-year stayed prison sentence. That means if Karia violates her probation, she could have to serve that prison term. She will be released either today or tomorrow from the Hennepin County Jail, and she will be a free woman. Randy and Julie.
Oh, all right. Thank you, Lou.
Thanks, Lou.